Even as we grieve, we give thanks for this most faithful life. I am deeply aware of this great inheritance and of the duties and heavy responsibility.
The British monarchy has survived wars, abdications, assassination attempts, and political chaos for nearly 1,000 years. Empires rose and collapsed while the crown kept standing. Rivals were buried, scandals faded, and the institution always pushed forward. But in the spring of 2026, something shocking is unfolding inside Buckingham Palace. For the first time in modern royal history, a reigning king is quietly passing real authority to someone else, not through abdication, not because the public forced it, but through a careful, behind closed doors shift of power. King Charles is slowly stepping back. Prince William is moving forward. And standing right in the middle of this tense transition is the one person nobody expected to be a roadblock: Queen Camilla. The same woman Charles spent decades defending through scandal is now caught in the center of a power struggle, shaking the palace walls. This is not gossip, and it's not random tabloid drama. Evidence keeps stacking up. Insiders are talking, and the balance of power inside the royal household has clearly shifted. To understand how everything started changing, go back to February 19th, 2026. That date may end up in the history books as the moment the modern monarchy took a dramatic turn.
Over Great Britain and the British Empire. He announced his decision to abdicate in a farewell broadcast heard by 150 million people around the world.
On that day, Prince Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, Duke of York and son of the late Queen Elizabeth II, was arrested. The accusation, allegedly sharing confidential government documents with individuals connected to the Jeffrey Epstein network. Let that sink in. A member of the royal family arrested over charges linked to one of the most explosive criminal scandals of the 21st century. The palace instantly went into chaos. Phones were ringing non-stop, reporters flooded the gates of Buckingham Palace, and social media exploded with speculation. In the middle of all that confusion, one person was already moving fast, while others stood stunned. That person was Prince William. Sources close to the family say William had quietly prepared for a moment like this. He didn't want it to happen, but he knew it could. Royal commentator Maureen Callahan told the Daily Mail that Charles had already been slowly handing responsibilities to William, saying he preferred to stay out of these explosive situations, even when they threatened the monarchy itself. And this wasn't some rushed decision made in panic. The groundwork had been building for years. Author Russell Myers, who wrote William and Catherine, revealed palace insiders had warned about Andrew's behavior long before the headlines hit. After Andrew's disastrous 2019 BBC interview, where he tried explaining his connection to Jeffrey Epstein and shocked the world with terrible judgment.
Chosen to speak out for the first time. Why have you decided to talk now?
Because there is no good time to talk about Mr. Epstein and all things associated. We've been talking to Newsnight for about 6 months.
William went straight to King Charles and the late Queen Elizabeth with a clear warning. His message was serious and direct. William's stance was simple and direct. Andrew had to be removed from royal duties immediately. No half steps, no quiet damage control. Complete removal from the royal machine. Back in 2019, that warning didn't land the way he hoped. The late Queen, deeply protective of her son, resisted taking such harsh action. Charles, still Prince of Wales at the time, was stuck in a painful spot. Loyal to his mother, but worried about the monarchy's reputation. But William didn't back down. He reportedly told senior royals the monarchy's relationship with the public was hanging by a thread. In his view, protecting the crown had to come before protecting any individual, even family. Those words were brushed aside back then. By 2026, they sounded like a prediction coming true. Now everything has changed. With Andrew arrested and King Charles battling cancer, William is no longer just the heir waiting patiently in the background. Inside palace walls, he's the one driving major decisions. Sources say that over the last 6 months, William helped lead every major move involving Andrew, stripping titles, pushing him out of royal lodge, and cutting his remaining ties to the institution. This isn't Charles acting alone. It's William shaping the strategy while Charles, exhausted and facing serious health challenges, allows his son to take the lead. To understand why Charles is stepping back now, you have to look at the weight he's carrying. He became king in September 2022 at age 73, the oldest monarch to take the throne. After waiting his entire life for that moment, the crown finally arrived just as his health began to fail. In February 2024, just 17 months after his coronation, King Charles received devastating news. He had cancer. The palace never revealed the exact type, but treatment started immediately and continued through 2024 and into 2025. Even while dealing with that intense battle, Charles kept showing up for public duties, staying disciplined and committed to the crown. Then another shock hit the royal family in March 2024. Princess Kate, the Princess of Wales and easily one of the most loved members of the royal family, announced her own cancer diagnosis. After abdominal surgery, doctors discovered cancer cells, and she began preventative chemotherapy. Kate stepped away from public life for months. That left the monarchy in a fragile position. In the same year, the king was undergoing cancer treatment while William's wife, the future queen, was also fighting a serious health battle. Think about the pressure sitting at the very top of the royal system during that time. The two people expected to carry the future of the monarchy were both dealing with major health struggles. Reports from Closer Weekly later revealed that Charles had already been considering shifting major responsibilities to William around 2025 or 2026. Sources said Charles had waited his entire life to be king, but those close to the palace believed William and Kate would soon take on much more control. Officially, the palace denied talk of a fast transition, but behind the scenes, the moves told a different story. In 2025, Charles gave William and Kate the authority to issue royal warrants, allowing them to endorse brands and businesses on behalf of the crown. To outsiders, that might sound small, but inside royal circles, it's a serious transfer of influence. That authority is far from symbolic. Monarchs have guarded the royal warrant privilege for generations. The moment Charles handed that power to William and Kate, it sent a loud signal inside royal circles. Real influence is shifting. William is no longer just the heir waiting for his turn. Step by step, he's becoming a partner in leadership. And in some areas, the one making the calls. One royal insider told News International that Charles has been guiding William carefully through this storm, helping him make smart decisions during one of the monarchy's most dangerous moments. The reason is simple. The future of the crown now rests heavily on William and his family. But there's an uncomfortable truth behind palace doors. Charles is 77 and undergoing active cancer treatment. His reign may be shorter than many people openly admit. That means the succession plan isn't some distant royal blueprint for the next decade. It's unfolding right now, live, urgent, and filled with high-stakes decisions for everyone inside Buckingham Palace. And that urgency makes the growing tension with Queen Camilla even more explosive, because William isn't just reacting to scandal, he's trying to rebuild the monarchy itself. His vision is bold: run the crown more like a modern organization than a centuries-old family operation. Instead of tradition quietly guiding everything, William wants structure, accountability, and clear leadership. His model is the royal foundation he runs with Kate, complete with a CEO, board of directors, clear goals, and public reporting. For decades, royal institutions avoided that kind of transparency. But William wants to bring that same clear structure to the monarchy itself. In October 2025, during a conversation with Canadian actor Eugene Levy, William openly hinted that serious change is on his agenda. Still, he admitted the challenge. How do you reform an institution that exists to represent tradition and stability? One former royal aide explained it with a sharp comparison. The monarchy is like a jar of Marmite. The label looks the same year after year, but the contents inside have quietly changed many times. William understands that balance. The reforms have to be subtle enough not to scare traditional royal supporters, but bold enough to actually matter. You can already see his style through how he manages the Duchy of Cornwall, the massive estate he inherited after Charles became king. People who work with him say he constantly questions old habits and demands results. One insider summed it up clearly. Accountability is at the heart of everything the prince and princess do. Their goal is simple: make the monarchy known for doing real good and helping people. But that modern vision leaves little space for the kind of royal connections Queen Camilla still protects. And that's where things turn tense. Camilla has reportedly become a serious obstacle to William's reform plans. The flashpoint? Her decades-long friendship with Sarah Ferguson, the former wife of Prince Andrew. According to Radar Online, William has strongly pushed back against Camilla because she remains close to Sarah. William's position is crystal clear. In his view, the monarchy can only survive this scandal by making a clean, public break from anyone tied to Prince Andrew or the Epstein controversy. And there are reasons behind that stance. Sarah Ferguson's name appeared in files released by the US Department of Justice connected to the Epstein investigation. There's no evidence she committed any crime, but emails showed she had direct contact with Epstein during difficult financial periods. One message from October 2009 reportedly showed Sarah asking Epstein for urgent financial help while her businesses were struggling. From William's perspective, that connection alone is risky. Seeing the Queen Consort maintain a close friendship with someone mentioned in those files sends the wrong signal at the worst possible moment. But Camilla sees the situation very differently. Her friendship with Sarah Ferguson goes back to the 1970s. Long before either woman married into the royal family, to Camilla, loyalty matters. Walking away from a 50-year friendship because of association feels unfair and unnecessary. So the real question becomes unavoidable. Should personal loyalty to a lifelong friend come before protecting the reputation of the monarchy during a major crisis? Or is William being too ruthless, too corporate, ready to sacrifice personal relationships just to control the public image? That tension became visible even when Camilla tried to take action. In October 2025, she was reportedly involved in the decision to strip Andrew of his remaining royal titles. Reports say Camilla did act against Andrew because his behavior was damaging efforts to support survivors of sexual abuse, an issue she has publicly championed for years. That move showed she was willing to take action, but it happened on her timeline, in her way, not the fast and total break William was pushing for. Then came another moment that stirred backlash. In February 2026, Camilla met with French survivor Giselle Picot to highlight support for abuse victims. The intention was clear, but the reaction online was fierce. Critics quickly accused her of hypocrisy, saying you can't publicly stand with survivors while still keeping close friendships with people linked to the scandal around Andrew. That wave of criticism only strengthened William's argument. According to reports, he made his stance crystal clear to Camilla. No exceptions, no loyalty, no old friendships, no personal history. Anyone connected to the scandal must be kept away from the crown. And if Camilla refuses to follow that line, William is reportedly ready to move forward without her influence, waiting until the day he becomes king and Kate becomes queen consort. That's where things get even more intense. Because this isn't just about William and Camilla anymore. Behind the scenes, Princess Kate has stepped into a powerful role. Sources say she has been working overtime after Andrew's arrest, coordinating with palace staff, speaking with legal advisors, and helping ensure William's crisis strategy is executed smoothly. By many accounts, Kate isn't just supporting William. She's acting as a key strategist right beside him. Kate isn't just offering support from the sidelines, she's actively helping shape how the monarchy responds to one of its biggest scandals in decades. And according to insiders, that growing influence has deeply irritated Queen Camilla. One insider described the situation bluntly. Camilla doesn't like Kate stepping into these decisions. Their relationship has reportedly been tense for years, but now that Kate is visibly taking on leadership responsibilities, Camilla feels her position is being challenged. Some reports claim Camilla even accused Kate of making both her and King Charles appear weak, as if the king cannot manage this crisis without help from the next generation. Think about that moment for a second. The palace is dealing with a major scandal. A senior royal has been arrested, and public trust in the monarchy is fragile. Yet the internal tension is also about image and authority inside the palace walls. King Charles, however, reportedly sees things differently. Sources say he has defended Kate when Camilla criticizes her, repeating that Kate is simply trying to help stabilize the situation. Still, the resentment hasn't disappeared. When Andrew's arrest became public, it was William and Kate who appeared together at events, presenting calm leadership and stability. Kate was reportedly present during key palace meetings and helped coordinate official responses. Meanwhile, Camilla was mostly missing from that public show of unity, and that absence did not go unnoticed. Inside the palace, the message is becoming clearer by the day. The future belongs to William and Kate. William's message to Camilla was blunt and unmistakable. Either publicly distance herself from Sarah Ferguson, or accept that her actions could damage the monarchy's reputation at the worst possible moment. This wasn't framed as a gentle suggestion. It wasn't a polite request from a future king trying to keep family peace. According to reports, it came across as a firm demand, and that moment says a lot about how the power balance inside Buckingham Palace has changed. Normally, heirs to the throne don't issue ultimatums to a sitting queen consort. That simply isn't how royal hierarchy works. But insiders say the situation has shifted dramatically. Sources claim King Charles has given William final authority over decisions connected to the Andrew scandal and the monarchy's public reputation. In effect, Charles has trusted his son to lead the response to the crisis. Charles supports William's strategy. Camilla reportedly does not, and that divide is striking. A reigning king quietly backing his son's plan over the objections of his own wife is a rare and powerful signal inside royal circles. Insiders say the mission now is clear: rebuild public trust. After the damage surrounding Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, William is fully focused on that goal. Anyone who stands in the way, no matter their title or connection to the king, risks being pushed to the sidelines. So the big question now is impossible to ignore. Will Camilla fall in line or keep resisting and deepen the divide inside the royal family? Here's the question many people are now asking. Is William right to push this hard? His strategy is strict, almost corporate. Zero tolerance for scandal. Zero patience for risky connections. But could that tough approach eventually create its own problems for the monarchy? Think about that for a moment, because the tension inside Buckingham Palace isn't just family drama, it's the surface of a much bigger transformation, one that could shape the monarchy for an entire generation. When William eventually becomes king, and many observers believe that moment could arrive sooner than people expect, the royal institution may look very different. According to people close to him, William has already laid out several core ideas for the future. First, a smaller monarchy, fewer working royals, tighter control over who represents the crown in public, and far less room for distant relatives living off royal status. The era of a huge extended royal family, creating scandal after scandal, may be coming to an end. Second, zero tolerance for controversy. Insiders say William has made it clear that anyone who brings serious scandal to the monarchy, no matter their title, history, or bloodline, will be removed immediately. Andrew, in that sense, wasn't just a problem, he became a test case. And third, more transparency inside the royal system. The old network of quiet palace courtiers making secret decisions behind closed doors could lose much of their power under a future King William. William already approaches royal responsibility like a business leader running a major organization. Look at how he manages the Duchy of Cornwall. He constantly asks why things are done a certain way, demands proof that systems actually work, and expects real results, not just good intentions. And right beside him in that mission is Princess Kate. She's already acting as a serious strategic partner. When she eventually becomes Queen Consort, many believe her role will be far more active and publicly influential than anything the monarchy has seen in that position for years. In many ways, the transformation has already started. Charles is still the king. Camilla still holds the title of Queen Consort, but the center of power inside the palace is slowly shifting toward the next generation. Major decisions are increasingly being shaped by William and Kate, with Charles approving and sometimes guiding those moves behind the scenes. But the next chapter could be even more intense. The Andrew scandal is far from finished. Investigations continue, and new details connected to the Epstein files keep surfacing. Every new revelation sends another shock through the royal household. And during moments of crisis, people naturally look for strong leadership. Inside the palace, and increasingly in public opinion, that figure is becoming Prince William. Sources close to the family say the coming months are being treated as a critical test. If the monarchy can show real reform, clear accountability, and a genuine break from past mistakes, it could recover stronger than before. Calls to abolish the monarchy, once quiet and on the sidelines, are starting to grow louder. The pressure isn't theoretical anymore. A YouGov poll from early 2026 revealed something striking. Support for the monarchy among people under 45 in the UK has dropped to its lowest level ever recorded. That younger generation is watching everything closely. They're watching to see whether William's promise of real reform is genuine or just another polished royal performance. So here's the bigger question people are starting to debate. Can the British monarchy truly reform itself the way William describes? Or is the institution too rooted in centuries of tradition, too dependent on old relationships and royal personalities to ever really change from within? That question could shape the next decade of royal history, and the answer may already be unfolding right now. Officially, King Charles is still on the throne. His portrait hangs in government buildings, and his signature appears on royal documents. But when it comes to strategy, crisis management, and the decisions shaping the monarchy's future, more and more influence appears to be shifting toward Prince William. Camilla still holds the title of Queen Consort and continues to stand beside Charles at official events. But behind palace doors, many believe the response to this crisis is being shaped by the next generation, especially William and Kate. On paper, the old guard still holds power, but inside the palace, a new era is clearly beginning. The truth is becoming harder to ignore. In many ways, the next generation is already running the show inside Buckingham Palace. That's the extraordinary reality of the British monarchy in 2026. It wasn't formally announced, nobody planned it this way, but the shift has already happened, and it's almost impossible to reverse. As the Andrew scandal continues unfolding, William's authority will likely grow even stronger. King Charles' age and ongoing health battle make the long-term picture clearer by the day. And Camilla's resistance, while understandable on a personal level, looks more and more like a final stand against a tide that has already turned. The monarchy is reinventing itself right in front of the world, not smoothly, not quietly, and certainly not without family tension and real personal cost. But the person driving that transformation appears to be Prince William. backed by his father, supported by Kate, and convinced that the institution must change if it wants to survive. So what do you think? Is William right to push this hard and this fast? Or is there something admirable about Camilla refusing to abandon a lifelong friend? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who follow royal news. More deep dives are coming soon.